Roberto,
Yes, sir.
listen, man. Um, sad past couple days for me. Mixed emotions. Mixed emotions.
Okay.
My Sixers failed me yet again. Um, Poor performance in the playoffs. A lot of that had to do with Joel Embiid being injured, but I it's hard. It's hard to keep making these excuses. It's always something. But my Carolina Canes came through and lifted your boy up. My New York Mets continue to uplift my boy or your
Yeah.
boy. But the Sixers, Fat Walrus, Daryl Morey, get it together. Don't you dare give James Harden the Supermax. Do you hear me?
Ooh, don't you dare do it.
Don't you do you walrus whiskered bitch? Don't do it.
Sports.
Sports. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Stuff About Sports. I am German. That is Bert, proudly repping his New York Rangers as he should, like a true
Hell
gangster.
yeah.
New York Rangers. Shout out to all the winners of. Actually, shout out to all the fans of hockey. Bert, we had like nothing but game sevens outside the Avalanche sweeping. Every other first round matchup was a game seven thriller. So I think it's only appropriate that we let off a couple
Oh yeah.
gunshots for the NHL.
It was absolutely huge. Sunday alone, I think, had 3 game 7s. It was us or maybe two, us in the Calgary game. Maybe there's an NBA game 7 that day too. But
Oh yeah, Mavericks Suns, where Luka Doncic just went nuts on the Phoenix Suns, the number one team in the league. Phoenix Suns, yet again, another disappointing playoff performance by Chris Paul and Phoenix. I don't know what to tell you, dog. The playoffs are different. It ain't regular season.
yeah, but no, I mean, look, the the Rangers down 3-1 in the series. Last Tuesday we did the show. I had tickets to Game 5 at the Garden. That Wednesday, they made the series 2-3. Friday night, tied the series up, forced Game 7 back home. And the best part about all 3 games they had to win out is that both Game 5 and Game 6, they were down 2-0. This team is fucking no quit in New York, man. They will not quit. They came back both of those. I don't want to hear anybody bitch about bad calls because there were bad calls on both sides. I don't want to hear anybody bitch because I've heard it enough from Mike Sullivan fucking bitching and complaining in his post-game conferences, just, oh, I should have got these calls, and oh, this, and oh, Sidney Crosby and the helmet rules. Just shut up. You play on the same ice. You got the same bad calls. Like that. We got missed calls. You got missed calls. Just play the game. And the fact of the matter is, to any Pittsburgh fan out there, you had 3 games you could have closed it out with us. And guess what? My boys proved you wrong. So you can fucking sit on it. For all I care, the Rangers are moving on. They're going against Germs Canes, which I'm indifferent because I know Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, next Tuesday, basically every other day, there's going to be a 2 to 3 hour period where Germ and I are just going to be talking shit to one another. And I love this, man. I'm going to feel real bad doing it, but I won't, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I dig it.
I will say I have a bone to pick with the Hurricanes and PNC. To be honest with you, only allowing North Carolina residents to buy tickets to their home games, as though you're concerned, oh, us Ranger fans are going to invade your building because, 1, we fucking will, and 2, if that's what you have to do to make sure that there's a sea of red and black in that building, then that's fine. You can go ahead, keep the revenue in North Carolina, I guess, but I think it's a little Nancy-ish, if you ask me.
Let me let off an air horn for the people who made that decision. You're damn right, Bert.
So
we
dumb.
we
It's
attended
so dumb.
we attended a Canes game together, and we asked one of the season ticket holders. We were lucky enough. Thank you, Bert, for
Lovely
getting
woman
us.
sitting next to us. Yeah.
Yes, let us know that I believe the Rangers were like the number 1 or 2 teams that kind of take over that arena. It was between them and the.
In
I think
Pittsburgh,
it was the Bruins, Pittsburgh. Oh, it was Pittsburgh. Okay, yeah.
She said you guys in Pittsburgh were the 2 best traveled
most.
teams.
Gotcha.
And you're damn right we are. Okay.
Yeah. You guys are the Cowboys of the NHL, and I
No,
don't mean that in a good way.
I don't like that at all. I don't like
Yeah,
that
I
at
don't. I
all.
definitely mean that in the worst, most disrespectful way
Just-
possible. And so, therefore, heady play by the ownership of the Carolina Hurricanes.
Mhm.
Yeah, keep them some bitches out of there. We need every tactical advantage because if you're not cheating, you ain't trying, and it ain't cheating. We
Mhm.
refuse to, sir. We refuse to, or we have the right to refuse service, like the good old diners in New Jersey. No
Yeah.
T-shirt, no shoes, no service,
Yep.
and no Penguins fan or Rangers fans either.
No
And
Penguins
so
fans
we,
there
yeah,
either because they're
no
sitting
Penguins. Yeah.
scratching their balls right now. So yeah.
Oh yeah, Pittsburgh Penguins overrated. So moving right along, Bert.
Yeah.
We'll get to NHL later. NFL schedule release. Okay,
Mhm.
I had it up here and I accidentally left the screen. But how do you feel about? I think everybody knew what divisions they were playing for the most part. But how
Mhm.
do you feel about your New York Football Giants schedule?
Man, I got to be honest with you. My expectations are about as low as they can be. So when the schedule came
Hmm.
out, I was like, cool, great. I
Yeah,
wasn't looking for best matchups. I mean, we still have still Daniel Jones under center, so it's like
yeah,
I'm just waiting to see how camp goes and preseason, and that's it. And then maybe week to week I'll take the schedule. But it's not one of those where I picked it apart like I'm sure you did with your Bills, and
yeah.
rightfully so, and
Hmm.
being arguably a favorite and a contender this year. For me, I'll just be happy if we do better than last year, which won't be hard to do. But what I will tell you is overall looking at the entirety of the schedule and seeing some really cool games that are coming up, I had to look no further than Monday Night Football Week 1 to see
Uh-huh.
the Seahawks and the Broncos.
Yep,
I
that's a
think
good
back
game.
in Seattle too. So I think that's going to be really exciting because that kicks everything off with Russ going back to Seattle after just being traded. Mike McCarthy later in the season too. Cowboys,
Yeah,
Packers. He's going back into Green Bay. So you have a lot of these really cool games. They're not going to be as cool as Brady re-entering Foxborough, but
yeah,
they will be
yeah.
cool to see kind of like these things happen and obviously how they respond. The Russ thing I'm more interested in seeing because he's obviously well respected in Seattle. Mike
Yeah.
McCarthy, he's going to be lucky if he doesn't get concussed by a fucking wheel of cheese when he walks back in
Yeah.
there because he damn near ruined them. So.
Yeah, there's a couple games that I looked at. I am interested in that Broncos Seahawks matchup.
Mhm.
Um, Obviously, the Bills Rams, literally the first game of the season, that Thursday night in
Yeah.
LA, which should have been the Super Bowl if it wasn't for some janky overtime rules. Um, I I I am interested in the Commanders and the Eagles. Like I like to see. I
Yeah,
want to see
that one's on
Carson
there too.
Wentz.
Hmm.
I want to see
If he's healthy.
if he's healthy, if he's going to make it there. I think
Yeah.
that's like a later game too. It's like in the
I
back
think
half
it's
of
a
the season.
December.
Yeah, it might be November, December.
No,
So
no,
it's in the
November
winter.
14th. November 14th.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But Bert, call me a
Hmm.
homer.
I have,
Thanksgiving. Yeah, you have, and you will
and
because
I'll continue to
I
do
am
so.
the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving Day, and
Yes.
only because you and I have been big side fans of the Detroit Lions,
Yeah.
and obviously I'm a Bills fan. So seeing my two football crushes playing on Thanksgiving of all
Hmm.
days is gonna be interesting because we do want to see if Detroit can start to ascend, right? Like
Yeah.
we kind of know what the Bills are. The Bills are going to be, I looked at our schedule. I have us at a realistic. I did a really, every season you look at schedule. Oh, we're going to go. We
Yeah.
shouldn't lose a game. No, I have us at 12-5, and then maybe maybe a 13-4. I don't know, but I think 12-5, 11-6 at worst. But
Hmm.
I think 12-5 is a good realistic number looking at our schedule. Obviously, there's going to be that one surprise game that we shouldn't lose. I'm taking under account, but I mean, our schedule isn't really, to me, isn't that bad. So the Bills should, we know what the Bills are going to be, but the Detroit Lions, a building team, we're not expecting them to go from worst to first, but if they can continue to be competitive and win a couple more games and just continue to build on what they've been doing and
Yeah.
not overcorrect and overreact to a couple losses, I think that'll be a pretty good game. I mean, the Lions have a lot to like. They have a good offense starting to shape up. They drafted probably the best player in the draft in Aiden Hutchinson, if not just the best defensive player, maybe just the best player overall. And I think it'll be interesting to see the young Lions go at it. And they're obviously their tradition of like 1,000 years of playing on Thanksgiving or
Yeah.
whatever, whatever it is. Obviously, we knew they were going to play on Thanksgiving, but I think it's cool that it's the Bills.
It's a 12:30 game too, man. So depending on what time you
Oh,
eat on Thanksgiving, that can fuck up dinner for you.
no, it ain't gonna fuck up nothing for me. I don't care what time. Listen, y'all eat when y'all eat. I'll eat whenever. Like I'm eating. I don't care. It don't matter to me. I'll be
Can't wait
watching
for
the
Ashley
game.
to beat the shit out of you on
Listen,
Thanksgiving.
listen. It's fine. I'll sit at the table, except my seat has to be pointed in the direction
Yeah.
of a TV, and
Well, that's how
I'll
I
even
did
get.
it. Yeah, I think last year. Fuck, did I host last year? Maybe it was the year before. Like, since we host so many people, we have to extend from our dining
Yeah.
room and living room are next to each other, so we just expend one big table, and I make sure I'm facing that. It's usually me, Corey from the Divide. When my father's there, all the guys we're just pointed right at the TV. Just it's gonna happen, you know.
Sup, Corey? Piece of shit.
Piece of shit.
Packers. Obviously, you'll get the high end games like the Bills Chiefs. You'll get
Yeah.
Browns Ravens. That's going to be interesting to see Deshaun Watson if he's eligible to play versus Lamar Jackson.
Listen,
That's a
they're
week
still
7
talking about
game.
suspension for him. It's wild. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. If he gets suspended, he's definitely missing at least 8 games, and that's a
Yeah.
week 7 game. So we actually may not get to see that. But if we do, it would be a good game. You got Rams, Chiefs, things like that. There's a couple good games in here. Of course, you'll get your Eagles Cowboys every year. Again, like they gave Bills 5 primetime games this year, Bert. I mean, and they're all against outside of the Lions. I mean, we got Bills and Bengals and Bills and Rams. It's like there's going to be a lot of top games in the primetime slots, and so yeah. Shout out to Ricky from Pain Train Pipe Bomb. This is his shirt. Beast Mode, of course. That's all I do on these Give Us a Shot Network airwaves. I go beast on some of these sports takes. Andrew Luck, still the most overrated player.
The most overrated player? Oh my
and
god.
the biggest bust of all time. Return on investment, people. Stop looking at stats. Look at return on investment. They didn't draft him for 6 years and no AFC title championships. Okay, so Bert.
Yeah.
I was watching the Jordan documentary again.
Yeah.
And it got to me thinking, what is your favorite sports conspiracy that's out there? For me, it's absolutely that Jordan's retirement
was a ban.
was a suspension. Yes, because of gambling. Now, let's just take some moments in time for the kiddos out there that were born after Jordan, like our guy Dwayne Marcus, who probably wasn't even alive. Living in his dad's balls.
I think my favorite one was the year he was born, but yeah, we'll continue. Let's go with yours. Yeah.
Yeah. So 92, he won his second championship. Jordan had to go to a trial because some guy got arrested for having a check signed out from Michael Jordan, and they thought it was a forgery because he went to go cash it, and it was like $70,000 or something ridiculous, right? Jordan goes to testify and says, "Oh, I sold him something, or he did some work for me. It was a business loan, whatever." Come to find out, under oath now, he admitted that it was for gambling losses that he made in a single weekend, by the way. Then the very next year, Jordan was called again to the court because a book was released that claimed that he bet $900,000 from a golf outing that Jordan owed him.
Jesus.
And of course, the infamous
$900,000.
Yeah, in a golf bet. And Jordan sucks at golf, so obviously that didn't go his way. And then obviously everybody knows about the infamous playoff appearance where they said he was in Atlantic City like 2 hours before the game and then showed up to the game, whatever. So then there was, after I think he won his third championship, obviously. Oh, yeah, absolutely. After he's won his third championship, even more betting stuff happened. And this time it started involving the mob. And now the FBI is getting involved. And the NBA said, now you're under investigation. Bert, there was this. Hold on, Bert. Before
There we go.
FBI gets involved, Bert. They say, whoa, Michael, it's a little bit too much money you're flaunting around. They're seeing you on all these inconspicuous places. Now we have the mob tied to all this nonsense that you're doing. And 4 months after that came out, Jordan suddenly retired when the NBA said, we're going to investigate this. There was a deal, backroom deal with David Stern and Michael Jordan. Days, Bert, literally days after Jordan announced his retirement, the league dropped the investigation. Why? Why did they do that, Bert?
Yeah, why
Because
would
there
they
was a
cover up?
secret agreement. Because Jordan, think about who was the most marketable star in the NBA from 91 to 93.
Yeah, but the thing that gets me is like, if he's announcing his retirement, like, what good is he to the NBA at that point? So why not just continue the
But
investigation?
what good is he to the NBA and their sponsors and a growing NBA? Again, remember, there's not that many stars like there is today. When their biggest star, their box office attraction, all of a sudden is arrested for gambling by the FBI. Okay. Nah, Jordan, take that. Hey, go play baseball for a year. We have to do something. Put it on your terms. Come back when it all blows over. Which, Bert, it did. Yeah. And so that is my favorite sport. Now, my second one is that Jordan's dad was killed by the mob because of Jordan, but that's a deeper, darker. That's on stuff about sports after dark.
Dive.
I have a super deep dive about Jordan, the circumstances. Go read the details of that. There's some shady things
on shit like that, because that is one of the things that like, I'm not a big conspiracy theory guy, but like I've heard that more than once, more than twice, and that's one of those where my ears perk up. I'm like, well, let me read this about this and find out a little bit more.
That we'll do that on stuff about sports after dark. There's some things about that case and Jordan, the circumstances, and the fact that nobody ever really talks about it. No. When the biggest star of basketball's dad is dead and killed in a park just randomly. And nobody's really talking about it. That's, like I said, you can go, there's a lot of stuff out there on the internet. Go do your Googles, read up on it, and then we'll circle back to that later. Do you have a sports conspiracy that you kind of were like, yeah, I can see that's going, I can see what that's about?
Yeah. I mean, so Cal Ripken back in 97, he had beat Lou Gehrig's consecutive game record. And shortly after, they were supposed to play at Camden Yards, and Trish, what's up?
What up?
But they had an electrical failure, so they had to postpone the game. So they basically canceled the game. And there was a rumor saying that it was done intentionally to save his streak, because they found out that Ripken was unable to play after he got into a fight with Kevin Costner, of all people. So basically, that's what the rumor was flying around, being like, oh, they did it. Yeah, exactly. Light issues. So obviously not lighting the field, you can't play. It later came out that he was in the dugout ready to go, according to reports, to help try to debunk it. But I think that's one of my favorites, and I can see it happening. I can absolutely see it being like, I mean, Cal Ripken, Hall of Famer, but I mean, what he's done for Baltimore, like, insane. He's a god down there. And so, I mean, I would absolutely believe that they did something like that to help save his streak, because I mean, he helped bring that franchise, certainly to fruition. The other one I would say, and this is probably something that everybody believes, and it's obviously involves our boy Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, and most notably Spygate. That after finding zero evidence that the Patriots were recording, the Jets sideline, that they destroyed the tapes, and a lot of people think that, the Spygate investigation, which I think stretched from like 2000 2000 2002. A lot of people think that those tapes actually had footage of the Rams walkthrough from their first Super Bowl win. That they were videotaping the Rams to get their plays, and then the next day they actually upset the Rams. It was like 20-17. So a lot of people think that Spygate, the NFL destroyed it to try to save Belichick and the Patriots' legacy, because they were a hot team at that point. Much like the Tuck rule, much like Deflategate, and Tom Brady's destroyed cell phone, and everything else that they tried to cover up too.
Yeah, Tom Brady's fake doctor. Yeah. Where's he at? Where's the ball boy from the Deflategate? Where's he at, on some island somewhere? They give him $1 million. We never saw him again.
mean, I would. I
I
mean,
mean,
you bribe.
yeah.
I'm very bribable. You give me $1 million, there's not much I wouldn't do. You know.
Uh-oh. The Divide's breaking news said that Cal Ripken found his wife cheating. I don't
Oh,
know what
Kevin
that has to do
Costner.
with the game with Kevin Costner.
I think it
Hey,
was
man.
because they got into
Yeah, Waterworld was big back then. I mean, I can see it.
was
Was
and
Kevin
for
Costner on a Ghost? No, who's that? That's the other one. Who's
that's
that?
Swayze.
Patrick
That's
Swayze.
Patrick Swayze.
Oh,
Yeah.
rest in peace, Patrick Swayze.
R.I.P.
Yeah. So there's some favorites. There's some sports conspiracies out there. If you have them, drop them off in the Facebook page or message them to us on Instagram or leave a comment, and we'll get to them later on. Bert, I was really hype about this.
I was so confused when I got this text message. I was like, colors.
Yeah,
What
I
the
want to know. I want to know. I was in a good mood, man. I just was like, man, what's something we could talk about? Like, I was just looking at you know what it was? It was the hockey. I was like,
Yeah.
man, some of these uniforms are nice. The colors are nice. I like, I got a new crew. I got moved to a new station, and my new crew, thank the Lord, they're into sports. They're into hockey. They're into football, basketball. So we were watching all the NHL games, and we were kind of going. We were talking about the colors of the uniforms, and I was like, what's our top 5 favorite colors? I think it's a good topic for us to broach. So, do you want to go first?
Yeah. I don't think this is any surprise. Let's look at some of my favorite teams. The Giants, the Rangers, throw the Yankees in there too. Blue is a common theme. Now you go with obviously the royal blue, in which I'm donning tonight in support for my blue shirts.
Yeah.
But blue is certainly up there as my absolute top favorite color. Plus, nice little shade of blue makes the eyes pop a little bit, makes the wife swoon. All good business for me.
Yeah, man. I'm going to start at the bottom. You went to the top. That's crazy.
Oh hell yeah!
I'm going to start at the bottom, and I'm going to go with orange, and not just any orange, Bert. I'm going to go with New York Mets orange.
Oh yeah. I didn't think about that. But I do have a doormat with that color that I wipe my feet on all the time.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
I got navy blue. I got pinstripe toilet paper. What's your next favorite?
You're going fancy toilet paper.
Fancy toilet paper.
That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah. I'll stay 1 through 5, so I'll go number 2. Going with green, solely because I look good in it. That's it.
Yep. You sure do. You sure do, buddy. My number 4 color, Bert, is Carolina Hurricanes Storm Gray.
Ooh, nice.
It's not really slate. It's not light gray. It's not a dark gray. It's like a really like a earthy, rich gray color, and it looks good. My wife bought me a V-neck in basically the same color, and I look good in it. So I like that color.
I absolutely believe that 1,000%. My number 3 is gray as well. Any shade of it, really. Been buying a lot of gray lately, and I think it's one of those where it kind of goes with basically everything. You can wear it with any other color, and they'd be like, all right, you can wear that. Whether it's shorts, shirt, just match it up.
Yeah, for sure. My number 3, Philadelphia 76ers red.
Ooh, nice.
The red in the Sixers jersey is nice. Oh, wait, it's on this side. It's not like a bright red. It's kind of like a soft, sensual red. It's like the blood of the country, blood where the Declaration of Independence was signed. Sensual red.
Man,
so yeah, Sixers red.
You can put sensual on any other, before any other color to describe it. It's not going to have the same effect as when you say sensual red. Everybody knows what you're talking about when you say sensual red. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like sensual aqua. Like it doesn't sound the same.
Number 4 for me, black. It's got to be one of my favorite colors. And, it's slimming when you wear it. It's just great. It's one of those you can wear with anything. So, yeah, give it up for black.
Number 2, Bert. Buffalo Bills blue.
There we go.
Nice. The color of kings. The color when you see that bold blue just coming through that white snow, Josh Allen's coming to kick your ass and fuck your wife. And I'm so excited for this season because we are destined. We are destined for great things.
God, he's gonna fuck so many wives.
So many. All of them. All of them.
Many, yeah.
All of them.
Yeah. Last but not least for me, red. Not one of the top ones, but also not awful. Something I'll wear if I'm feeling, saucy. Tiger's got his power red. Michael Jordan was big in red, obviously. So, you have to throw it in there in the mix every once in a while when you're feeling powerful.
My number 1, Bert, is burgundy.
Oh, I did not expect that.
Big burgundy guy,
Okay.
big maroon guy.
Okay.
Love him. I got look that's the color I look best in. So if I bust out in the burgundy, combination suit with the black
Mm-hmm.
shirt underneath,
Oh yeah,
um,
that would look nice.
I'm feeling pretty good about myself. I like black. I look good in black. I think most of my clothes are black. I guess I guess realistically, black is my favorite color, but I think that's
Mm-hmm.
just because I like simple things and black is
Yeah.
simple and I look good in it. But in terms of having things, yeah, if I can get me a nice burgundy set, feeling feeling pretty good. Uh, Mets baseball, yeah. Shout out to the Mets. I think we're playing right now. We had a doubleheader because yet again, Bert,
The
fucking
rain.
baseball,
For real.
canceling the game yesterday. We're losing 3-2 in the bottom of the sixth, but we won the first game this afternoon 3-1, so it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Mets still haven't lost a series this season, so fuck you guys.
Yeah, man, they're on a
Um,
fucking tear.
yeah, I love it. We tied that one series, I think, against the I think it was like the Phillies or the Braves, some. I think it was a division rival. I'm pretty sure. I can't
Mm-hmm.
remember. But anyway, moving. Oh, Trish actually had blue, green, pink, orange, and purple. Love a
Okay.
good purple. I love a good, like, I don't know if I can wear it, but like, I like a good, if I see something in a nice, now there's like royal purple, like the Crown Royal bag purple, but then
Yeah.
there's like that weird, like razzmatazz purple. Like, it depends. So purple's tricky because there's so many variations of it because then you got to, like, are we getting into like purple pink? And then is maroon purple or is that like a
Yeah.
dark red? There's like a weird, you know,
My
I
concern
don't
with
know.
purple is like, you take that risk of just walking around looking like either Grimace or like fucking the
Oh yeah.
Joker. Or there's too many
Barney,
characters
yeah.
that Barney. There's too many characters somebody can just walk up and be like, "Yo, what's up?" And like just slaughter you with some type of comment about like looking like the Joker and shit like that. But
Frank says Frank to zero Terzio says blue.
gotta be blue.
Now, what kind of blue? There you have to be specific. Me and Bert were
Mm-hmm.
very specific in the shades of blue.
Mm-hmm.
And it depends. It really matters. All right. Don't come over here with sky blue. Okay. We don't
Oh
want that.
God, no, no.
No.
I don't want no
Don't come over
sky
here
blue.
with turquoise or
No,
whatever. I
no.
need a real blue color. Give me navy. Give me
Navy,
royal.
navy and
Give me
royal got to be the top two, right? I mean,
periwinkle, maybe the greatest Crayola crown of all time. Give me the periwinkle. I don't care what you do, but you got to be specific, Frank. We need to know because if you give us the wrong shade of blue, we're going to judge you.
we got.
Bert, I swear to God, I wish somebody would just give us $375 million to call 200 games over the course of 10 years.
Yeah.
Tom Brady never has once said anything interesting in the entire 20 years he has been in the NFL. I can't name one thing he said or one time I thought, man, I need to rush to hear what Tom Brady said.
No, could care less.
I think the most interesting thing he said was, I eat avocado ice cream. And then I judged him even more. And then I said, you should probably stop talking. And not only did they not do that, they gave him money to talk more.
Mm-hmm.
Bert, what do you think of this ridiculous 10-year deal with Fox to call games?
I think I honestly I don't know what to think of it. At first I was just like, oh yeah, they'll do it because the ratings. But in my head I'm like, it's fucking football. Like, if you want to watch the game, you want to watch the game. People don't watch the game because Tom Brady is calling it. I could be wrong
Yep.
here. I don't know if
Yep.
non-football fans who know Tom Brady are going to be like, I should start watching this sport because
Yeah,
Tom
'cause Tom
Brady's
Brady's in
calling
there.
the game.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to replicate and knock Tony Romo as much as you want. I do like it when he calls the game because he knows his
Yeah.
shit and he knows it well. The only thing I don't like is when he starts predicting plays before they happen. It's like, dude, we get it. Slow down.
Yeah.
But
He's gotten better at that though. He hasn't
yeah.
like I think Al will ask him like in certain situations he'll be like, what would you do here? And then he'll say what he should do, and sometimes he's right, and the team doesn't whatever. But I do like when he started his first year, he was predicting damn near every.
Yeah, I think Jim Nantz was like, yo, knock it off.
Yeah,
Like,
stop doing that.
But yeah.
Jim Nance, sorry, yeah, I forgot who I said before. I think I said Al
Al
Michaels.
Michaels. Yeah. No, yeah. So this is honestly this is weird to me because he's never. I don't even know if he's obviously must have shown interest in calling games, but I don't know like how do you think he's gonna last all 10 fucking years? And they gave him big fucking money too, like huge, ridiculous money
Yeah.
because he's Tom Brady, and I get it. But like, so what does that mean? Does this mean this year is his last year? Is this his last go at it, or like, is it
Yeah.
whenever he decides to call it quits? Which, by the way, he's already over 40. He's like 42. So you got to figure whenever he does decide to retire, whether it be at 43 or 44, he's going to be broadcasting until he's at least 54. He doesn't need any of the extra money right now. He's doing okay. So it's like I applaud him for setting himself up in retirement. But man, this is going to be an interesting one to see and hear.
I think Tom Brady really does hate his family. That's my conspiracy theory. He can't. He spent 40 days with his family and said never again. I am going to play football and risk getting a concussion and ending my career early. And then when I'm done, if I somehow survive that, I'm going to sit in the booth and call games and have to do research. So like, he's not just going to show up on Sundays and call games. Like, you got to go in like a couple days a week, prep, figure things out, travel. So he's probably really spending like 3 days with his family at most.
Yeah.
And I think that's good enough for him. That's something he can handle. There's not 3 days I can do that. The rest of you, I mean,
who would have thought
his family
that being home with the kids that you love and your super hot Brazilian supermodel wife would be that torturous for you, where you're still looking for work that takes you away from home. But
some men's trash is other men's treasure, Bert.
I know.
And he's probably worn that box out, and he's sick of it, and he's sick of his nasally kids. I mean, there's days like that.
He is a pocket quarterback, so I mean,
Yeah,
I believe it. Yeah,
that might be it. I actually think this deal sucks, and it's not really
for him or for us.
For us. Like, obviously, it's good for him. It's always good for the guy getting paid. Like, that's besides the point. I think in general, I think it's just bad for the market of broadcasters, right? Like, some of these got like Jim Nance. You got the Jim Nances of the world, like, who bust their ass trying to become these broadcasters, and they're the best in the world at what they do. And then here comes fucking Tom Brady, and only getting the job because he's Tom Brady. And I do get that aspect of it, because I've argued on behalf of Tim Tebow having a roster spot. Yeah. So I'm going to sound a little bit hypocritical here, but when you're talking about the game, and it's one. Tim Tebow was there to provide revenue for baseball, right? Like that was his role. For the team he was on, he was supposed to help them win. Do you think Fox Sports needs revenue? Do you think Fox in general needs revenue? No. They're fine. They're going to keep broadcasting games.
They all work out the deals in the front end. I mean, that's the thing about that. I mean, actually, it may bring more revenue in. No, because I'm going back and forth in my head. Like, all right, well, maybe more advertisers will go with Fox because Tom Brady's calling the game now. But they'll choose which games get played on Fox Sports, or Fox on at the beginning of the season. So it's, I don't know, man. Look, good for Fox, right?
No, good for Brady and good for Fox. It sucks for us because Tom Brady's going to be boring. He's going to be up there like a cardboard box with really good hair, and he's not going to say anything fun. He's not Terry Bradshaw. He has zero personality. And he's
going to be like, that reminds me of my 12th Super Bowl win.
Yeah, he's like, I can't remember if it was my 7th or 11th MVP award.
The guys are going to be wrapping up their season in like December because their teams suck, and they're going to be like, I really feel for these guys. It's like, what do you mean you feel for them? You've never felt like that before. You've never felt that, yeah. 50% of your career, you played the very last game of the fucking season.
No.
And some can argue making it that far and walking away like the 3 times he did without a ring is worse than not completing the season at all. But man, when you're competing at that level year over year and the expectation is every year you're going to go there, it's like, how relatable can he be? I mean, come on.
That's the people don't listen to rich people because they're not relatable, right?
Yeah.
People don't gravitate. Like, nobody likes the rich jerk who shows up and says, oh, if you do this, you do that. Like, fuck off, dude. Like, you know what I mean? You don't. So Tom Brady, you can't speak on the struggles of a losing season. No. You can't speak on that. Like, the Rams
that we're
beat
shitting
you.
On him, but like we're just literally, literally theoretically just saying, he might say this. Fuck him for probably saying that.
Because he has the face. He has the face of a guy who would say something like that.
If he wasn't so damn good looking and win all the time, I swear we'd be nicer to him. But I mean, what 100%. More do you want, Tom?
I'm only nicer to him because he's no longer a Patriot. I still hate his guts. So, all right, Bert. A little bit of overtime. Couple quick hits. We're as I filibuster as you fix your microphone. It's all good, buddy. This is what I do. Luka Doncic is the greatest white basketball. Now that Bert can't talk, I'm just going to let it all off. Luka Doncic is the greatest white player I've ever seen play basketball.
There, am I back?
You are back.
Here we go.
You are back. I can hear you. This is live in motion.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. You're good, buddy.
I don't know.
Ooh.
My shit. You want to talk about a panic attack? Is when when that came out and I couldn't hear shit. I was like, and I saw you. I was like, oh no. I was like, here we go, heart attack. Usually I have like my wires.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't hear me because whatever I said, you probably wouldn't have liked. So that's cool.
No.
I was like, oof. I was like, oh, Bert's not on here. You're gonna have to watch the playback, buddy. No. I was like, ooh, Bert's not listening. He can't hear me. So here we go. I got to get this off. I've been waiting patiently to get this take off.
He's probably like, Bert, say something if you disagree with me. Oh, he's not saying anything. Sounds like he agrees with all of that. Yeah.
How about those transgenders in sports? Bert, Luka Doncic. I said no. This is really what I said. Luka Doncic is the greatest white basketball player I've ever seen. He's great. Yeah. Larry Bird, who I've said it before. And I'm Larry Bird, who.
Do you think the sample size is too small to tell though?
No, because the only gauge that people have is winning, and that's the worst gauge to have because winning is a team attribute. Watch the game. Watch them play. Tell me that Luka Doncic isn't just better. He's younger. Yes, I have to respect the old timers, but like there's players in the 80s.
Bird played at a time there were so many other elite great players, and not to say that there's not in this NBA, because there certainly is, but I mean it is a far different game.
It's a far different game, but it's offset by the skill level of the players now. Yeah, like players like Joel Embiid and Giannis Antetokounmpo just simply didn't exist. Like it didn't happen. And a guy like Luka, who played professional basketball at 15 years old, didn't exist in that time. So, I look at that and I'm watching this kid play, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, I haven't seen it before. And I've watched basketball for many years, and I'm allowed to say it because I was alive during the 80s and 90s and all this other good stuff. And hold on for a second.
You good?
Little emergency here. Hold on. All right. She knows I'm doing the show, but she's bothering me with this. All right, live radio. And I'm frozen on my screen. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
I can hear you and see you just fine.
Okay.
You're good to go.
Then I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
My screen's frozen, but I'm just going to keep it going.
Yeah.
So anyway, the playoffs are set. We have Boston and Miami, and then you have the Mavericks and the Golden State Warriors. Mm-hmm. Bert, give me your picks on who's going to end up in the NBA Finals.
I mean, I'll go Mavs because, I mean, why not? You're just talking about it. And you said who else is in it from the East?
The Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics.
Let's go Heat Mavs.
I like that energy.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I think I was going. Me personally, I think I was going to go with the Mavs Celtics. I think Celtics are a better team. So
they very well might be. I can't have any pick of mine come from that city. So sorry. It's just a New York thing.
Yeah. All right. Hockey, Bert.
Yeah, let's go. So listen, we've said this time and time again. Germ is getting into hockey, but by no means is he an expert. And my boy went basically 7 for 8 in his first round picks. He had the Canes, the Panthers, the Lightning, the Rangers. They almost failed you, but they came back.
I know. Yeah. Thank God.
He had the Avs, the Flames, and the Oilers. The only pick he got wrong, which was a close series, was the Wild St. Louis. St. Louis wrapped that series up in 6 games. Heartbreaking. So next round, we're moving on. Germ, let's start with the West. Who do you like between the Blues and the Avs?
Bert, the Blues and the Avs. I'm going to go the Avalanche.
Stick with the hot hand. I like it.
Yeah. No, you have to. They're best team in hockey. They're the only team that swept. They're the most dominant team I've seen in the playoffs.
In the West, I mean, technically, best team in hockey belongs to the Panthers, but if we're talking offense and defensively, they are a scary team. I'm going to be honest with you. If the Rangers end up making to the Stanley Cup, they're a team I don't want to see there. Them and Calgary are the two teams I would not want to face.
Gotcha.
All right, next up, the Battle of Alberta. We have the Oilers and the Flames.
Bert, I've been on this team. I'm going with Calgary.
There we go.
I'm going to go with Calgary. Best uniforms in hockey.
Perfect. All right, moving on to the East. We'll start with the easy one for you. So Panthers or Lightning, the battle for Florida.
Ooh, the battle for Florida, the state that probably shouldn't exist. I'm gonna go with Florida. I'm gonna go with the Florida Panthers.
Think they're trying to upset the Lightning. Lightning trying to three-peat right now.
Yeah. I can't. I don't like dynasties unless
Yeah.
it's my Buffalo Bills and the teams that I like. So I'm sick of Tampa. I'm sick of
Jerm
Tom
says,
Brady.
fuck that new title town, Tampa Bay. Let's go with the Florida
Yeah.
Panthers.
Tom Brady ruined Tampa already. He's only been there like for a cup of coffee, and he's
Getting
already ruined
hammered
Tampa.
off of like Zimas on a boat and then
Yep.
stumbling off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking
So
Tom
let's go with
Brady.
Florida.
And then I'm assuming the next matchup, it's the Rangers Canes. You have to go Canes, right?
Listen, I was doing all the research. I was looking at all the numbers. I was looking at
They
the players.
dominated us in the regular season. They absolutely dominated us. I think.
But as we've seen in the the regular season and the playoffs, the regular season don't matter.
Yep.
So I'm looking at these advanced analytics and metrics that I've been shitting on all NBA season, but I'm going to use them for hockey.
Mm-hmm.
And Bert, you'll be surprised. I'm picking the Carolina Hurricanes.
That is shocking because that lead-in, I was like, "There's no way." I was like, "Are you really gonna pick the Rangers?"
Yeah, you out of your mind. I'm not picking the.
Yo, you wouldn't be able to go to work. They'd be like, "Bro,
Yeah.
it's not happening." Yeah, you're gonna have to leave.
Yeah.
Oh man. Cool. So the picks are in. Panthers, Canes out of the East, and
go.
out of the West, Avs, Flames. So let's see if Jerm can keep his streak going. Personally, I hope he takes 3 for 4, and we know which one that I want him to lose. So
Of course. What did you make any picks? Or do you have any picks other than the Rangers different than mine?
obviously the Rangers, I kind of like Tampa Bay over the Panthers only because they have the playoff depth and experience. The Rangers. So Rangers Carolina should be a tough battle, to be honest with you. I don't think either one of us expected our last series to go 7 games. Carolina, I never. Like, what scares me is that they are nasty at home. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they never lose a home game, which would be trouble for me because you have home ice advantage. So you play 4 games this next series. So, but we'll see. Both teams just played 7, and they're probably starting to feel it as you get into the playoffs. A little bit more tired, but hey, anything can happen. And then out of the West, I agree with your pick in the Avs. I do. I don't think St. Louis is built for another round. Honestly, and between the Flames and the Oilers, flip a coin for me. I probably would have went Oilers because I think they have a better offense. But Daryl Sutter, who coaches the Flames, man, he's won the Stanley Cup several times. Took the Kings twice. One of them beating my Rangers back in 2014. So you get a fantastic coach like that behind a bench of talented group that Calgary does have, a young core. I think anything can happen, but I would take the Oilers over them.
Cool. Bert, do you have a game ball to give out?
Game puck to give out. It's got to go to my man Artemi Panarin for winning us in overtime. He's looked like trash all season, but that overtime victory just honestly made all of my hate go away. So Panarin, this game puck's for you for keeping my boys alive and going to the next round. So I didn't have to hear Germ talk shit today and yesterday about how the Rangers couldn't get it done. So that's where my game ball, our game puck, is going.
Mine is going to the XFL and Dwayne Johnson. They struck a deal with ESPN and Disney. We are getting XFL back, which the guys at the network are really happy about. We were big XFL guys.
Yep.
We are starting the petition for XFL Fantasy. Let's get it done, Dwayne. And that's a big deal. They struck a partnership. XFL will be their minor league system, so to speak, in terms of maybe not talent, even though it kind of already is, but with like rules and things of that nature, and just testing things that the NFL wants to test out that they're too scared to pull the trigger on. They're going to let the XFL do first, and I think that's a good look for the XFL. It's a good look for the NFL.
Yes.
So that's good. I actually have 2 to give out because the tragic shooting in Buffalo. We're not going to go into details. We're not going to give any shine to assholes out there that just want to spread hate. But Thurman Thomas, Buffalo Bills great running back, and Andre Reed and some other
Hall of Famer.
Other Buffalo Bills greats.
Andre Reed's definitely a Hall of Famer, isn't Thurman Thomas too?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Thurman Thomas as well. raised already today over $100,000 for all the victims of the victims' families from that horrible shooting. I think that's a great thing. So I wanted to just give a little shine. So a little extra game ball will go out to Thurman Thomas and company for doing that for those families. Rest in peace to those victims, and our condolences to the families of the victims. And shooter, when you go to hell, say hi to Art Briles for us.